Brubag, www.brubag.com, official Brubag rules. The goal. The objective of the game is to be the first team to close out the opponent's board by successfully tossing brew bags through the open holes. Setup. Boards are set approximately 20 feet apart, facing each other. 6 covers are set on the ground next to each team's board. Teams. 2 teams consisting of 1 or 2 players. Each team must have an equal amount of players. Teams stand together, behind or to the side of their brew bag board and opposite their opponents. The tossing line. The line in which players must stand behind when throwing. This is the front of each team's brew bag board. If a player steps in front of this line when tossing, the throw is considered out of play. Tossing. Each team tosses 1 brew bag at the opposing team's board. When tossing, the first teammate's bag must land on the board before the second teammate throws his or her bag. If playing with 1-player team, then each player will toss 2 brew bags. Teams are not allowed to throw brew bags simultaneously. Brew bags can be thrown in any fashion, but must land on the board first or go directly through a hole to be counted. Brew bags are considered sunk if they fall completely through any open hole. Anytime a bag hits the ground before touching the board, it is considered a dead bag. If both players successfully sink separate holes in one round, they are awarded their brew bags back and continue to throw. So basically, if each teammate sinks it through on their turn, you get the brew bags back. If both players successfully make the same hole in one round, it is now considered an instant win and the game is over. If a hole that was covered becomes uncovered because of the impact during a round and a brew bag goes through the hole, it is now considered an open hole and must be closed out again. Re-rack. Teams are allowed to ask for 1 re-rack per game in which they may realign the open holes in a more favorable position. This is only allowed to be done at the beginning of their team's round. Defending. Once a brew bag is sunk, the hole must be immediately covered. Defenders are not allowed to touch a board for any reason other than covering a hole that has been sunk or removing a bag that is considered out of play until the round is over. When the round is complete, the board must be adjusted if necessary before the next round begins, resetting the covers, realigning the boards, adjusting the legs, etc. Defenders are not allowed to directly interfere with a brew bag that is being thrown. However, they are allowed to distract the thrower by any means necessary, as long as no contact is made with the player, bag, or board. Defenders must also remain behind their tossing line and out of the field of play. If any of these conditions occur, then the tossing team is rewarded the bag back and are given a second chance to throw. If the losing team is able to close out their opponent's remaining holes, then the game is forced into overtime, and then the game is not over. Overtime. Each team will remove the front 3 covers closest to the logo from their board. After the covers have been removed, the team who had closed out their opponent's board first will have the first turn in overtime. Redemption. Once the final hole has been sunk, the losing team is allowed a chance at redemption. This gives the losing team an opportunity to take the game to overtime by closing out their opponent's remaining holes within 1 round. If the losing team is able to close out their opponent's remaining holes, then the game is forced into overtime. If not, then the game is over. Winning. To win, you must close out every hole on your opponent's board. If this is achieved by both team members sinking 2 separate holes, then the game is over and there is no redemption.